Morning, everyone. My name is Costa. We're going to get started in 1 minute. We're just going to wait for a few more people. But before we get going, just some housekeeping. Can somebody please type in the chat, and I'll chat is here. Can you please let me know that you can hear me, you can see me, and everything sounds and looks good. You can see my screen. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so let us get going. All right, so good morning, everyone. My name is Costa. I'm one of the co-founders of Brokerbay. I'm the CEO, and I started the company about 3.5 years ago now. But know that I started it not initially to have this real estate software company, but initially as a tool that I was creating for my own business in real estate. So I've been a full service broker in the GTA for over 14 years. I no longer sell, I now do this full time. And this tool was originally, and I'm just gonna press record here. Awesome. And okay, so yeah, so like I was saying, this tool was originally created just to help me become more efficient as a broker and as an agent. I had a small team of agents at a brokerage in the downtown core, but very quickly, a lot of my colleagues at my brokerage, they started asking about the tool as they became exposed to it. They're like, "Oh, can we pay you to be a part of it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, you can pay me." Other agents started participating, and then my brokerage signed up, and then other brokerages signed up, and then fast forward to today, we now represent nearly 40,000 agents just in the GTA and many of the surrounding boards. We're the largest provider of front desk software and systems in Canada, and we're growing rapidly. So it's been quite an exciting last couple of years. So just a note for how today's presentation is going to go. I can't help it, but I tend to talk very fast and I go into a lot of minutia. So by no means is the expectation that you remember everything that I'm going to talk to you today about, because we're going to be going through so much. It's a lot of information. The purpose of today's presentation is simply to remember or absorb some of the high level concepts, and a lot of the real practical learning of Brokerbay is actually going to come from using the system and jumping into the system. So don't write things down. Don't feel like you have to do anything. Just try to absorb the high level concepts, and you'll find that the system's pretty intuitive once you log in and start using it, etc. I want everyone to ask questions today. So I love questions. I check the chat periodically. The only thing that I ask is that if you're asking a question, please make the question relevant to the whole group. If it's something specific about your business, like you had this one appointment on your listing that what's happening with that appointment, please save that to the end. And I'm going to stick around for a few minutes and answer personal questions at the end of the presentation. So try to stay on topic with your questions. Ask as many as you like, and just type them in the chat, and I'll get to them periodically. Awesome. All right. So the first thing to understand, and I'm just going to log out here actually, is that Brokerbay is going to be, so maybe your brokerage is launching this week, maybe you've launched last week or before the new year. Happy New Year, everyone. But the idea here is Brokerbay's system does a lot of different things, but the main thing that you are going to understand it to do is replace your existing front desk appointment system. So that's the kind of the foundation of what we do, and it's going to be the focus of what we go through today. So if your brokerage was using Wolf Connect or Quick Office or Showing Time before, those systems are replaced, and you're now going to be using Brokerbay to service your appointments, your offer registrations, and all these other fun things that we're going to talk about today. If you were to remember a single thing from today's presentation, like just the one thing from today's presentation, this is what I want you to remember: how to log in to Brokerbay. This is the hardest part. So to get to Brokerbay, I want you to open up a Google Chrome browser. So Google Chrome, or maybe Safari browser. If you're using Internet Explorer, please stop. No more Internet Explorer. We must use either Safari or Chrome. And you're going to navigate to the URL bar, and you're going to go edge.brokerbay.ca. Edge.brokerbay.ca, and that's it. You're going to press enter, and it's going to bring you to a page that looks like this, where you're going to put your email here. So this is the email that your brokerage has provided us. So whatever email you think your brokerage has for you, that's your username. And your password is going to be your board member number. So if you're part of TREB, use your 7-digit TREB member ID. If you're part of a board that uses Matrix, the Matrix system, try your Matrix member ID. And if there are letters in your Matrix member ID, please capitalize them. If you're a part of multiple boards, try one, then try the other. One of them is going to work. And if everything else fails, just click forgot password here, and you could reset your password by typing your email, check your email, and you could reset your password yourself if for whatever reason it doesn't work. You will not be able to log in to Brokerbay until the official launch date of your brokerage. So if your brokerage launches tomorrow, that's when you will be able to log in. So don't worry if you can't log in today, if your brokerage is launching tomorrow. All right, so I've just logged into Brokerbay, and I think we have a question here. Thank you, Markian. So we've just logged into Brokerbay, and this is a fake account. We're just going to play around with some data here and get to learn how this looks like and how to navigate it. So I've just logged in, and the first page that I'm presented with as an agent is called My Brokerage. So what is My Brokerage? This is now the central place where you as an agent can familiarize yourself with all of the important data that's contained within your brokerage. So what do I mean by important data? Simply put, all of the listings that your brokerage has. So whether they're exclusive or MLS, or maybe you want to search for coming soon listings or new construction listings within your brokerage. So these are the on and off market properties that are within your brokerage. Your MLS listings, the minute they're added to the MLS. So let's say you broker load a listing to the MLS. Within 30 seconds, it's pulled into Brokerbay automatically. You don't need to think about it. And we're going to pull in all of the beautiful photos, the text, all of the important details around your listing the minute you add it to the MLS. So know that you could just keep going about your business, add your listings to the MLS. They're instantly pulled into Brokerbay. But this is going to be important for when you want to have exclusive listings. So exclusive listings, the way that they make it onto Brokerbay is very simple. You have to take your paperwork and hand it into your office. That simple process of giving your paperwork into your office is going to trigger your administration at your brokerage to upload your exclusive listing onto the platform. So please just remember that if you want your exclusives here, which is pretty cool to have them here, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes, you just hand your paperwork in. Your MLS listings will be instantly pulled in the second you upload them to the MLS. Great. And again, all the listings on Brokerbay, you could see photos. You could send them off to your client if you want, or save them to your profile. So we'll talk more about that a little later. Under My Brokerage, we also track all of the upcoming open houses for your brokerage. Obviously, with COVID-19 right now, we're probably not doing open houses for the better. So know that in the future, once the pandemic's behind us, you'll be able to come here to see what open houses your colleagues are working on from your brokerage. We have a really handy haves and wants posting board as well. So the haves and wants section is a great place for you to share things that you want to share with your brokerage, with your colleagues. What kind of things? So here you can come and add maybe that you want something. I want a short-term lease. Hey team, looking for a 3-month lease in Leslieville. Let me know if you have anything. Or maybe I want a service provider. Hi colleagues, looking for an amazing plumber in Markham. Whatever it is that you want or have to offer your colleagues, you can post it to the haves and wants posting board, and it will be shared with everyone in your brokerage. What do I mean by that? All right, so we have your listings at your brokerage, we have your open houses, we have your haves and wants, and one of the nice things about Brokerbay is in the top right corner, you're going to see your initials or a headshot if you've uploaded your headshot. And when you click it, there's a little menu with a section called Notification Settings. You now have the ability, okay, within your brokerage to tell the system what it is that you would like to find out about. So I can tell Brokerbay that, hey, I want to find out when my brokerage gets a freehold or a condo listing within the brokerage. I don't care about commercial listings or lease listings because I don't do that type of business. So you could pick and choose the types of listings. You can, if you work for a larger organization with lots of branches, you could choose which branches you want that information from. You could choose to get updates instantly when there's a new exclusive or an MLS, or maybe certain things you don't want to find out, like price changes or things like that instantly. Or instead of getting anything instantly, you can choose to get all of the communications from your office in a recap regarding open houses or all of today's new listings or all of today's haves and wants in a single communication. So long story short, this is a fully automated paging system, and you can pick and choose what you want to hear about from your office. And we're going to communicate a very beautiful message to you by email with a thumbnail of the property. You can click into it. You could send it off to your clients. And it's really handy for you now to be able to pick and choose what you want to get. Or maybe you're on vacation, turn everything off. I don't want to hear about anything. I'll subscribe on my own time when I get back into the office. All right, so you get the idea. We store all of the information for your brokerage here, so you could search it like a mini MLS system just for your office. And we automate the sharing of those details to you based on your preferences, your notification preferences. Now, everything we've been talking about up until this point has been regarding the data within your brokerage, within the walls of your office. I'm now going to show you a really valuable place that you can now explore on the left-hand side here called Exclusive Network. And the Exclusive Network is the only place on Brokerbay where you can now come to find data from other brokerages. So it is to be understood that the Exclusive Listing Network is the largest marketplace in Ontario where Brokerbay's customers can transact sensitive listings like exclusive listings, assignment sales, and coming soon to MLS listings. So at any given point in time now, you have access to hundreds of verified off-market properties that are not on the MLS that are providing and offering a competitive cooperating commission. So pretty powerful stuff now. You have access to all this hidden inventory that for whatever reason, they're not ready or they haven't gone to the MLS yet, that you can now share with your customers. Fantastic. So kind of cool. You have access to all of these properties. But with that said, all right, yes, it's cool that you have access to all of these exclusive listings. But with that said, as agents, we typically don't like exclusive listings. As a listing agent, I want MLS listings every single time. I do not want exclusive listings. So with that said, it's to be understood that the best way to use the Brokerbay exclusive listing network is actually as a tool in your MLS listing presentations to help you get MLS listings. What do I mean by that? You now have the ability, okay, to tell your prospective sellers when you go into their property, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. So when you're speaking with your prospective sellers, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, when you list your property with me, a reputable professional agent, because of the professional marketing networks that my brokerage participates in, we have the ability, before we bring your property to the MLS, to actually pre-market it as an MLS coming soon listing to 40,000 of the best agents across Ontario. And Mr. and Mrs. Seller, there's a high probability that we're going to get feedback on the price of your home and if there's any interest before we even go to the MLS. So one of the many reasons you should list your property with me is because of the pre-marketing strategies that we have available to us through Brokerbay. So you get the idea. The high level is you can now tell your prospective sellers and your prospective vendors that you have the unique ability to pre-market their property as a coming soon listing before bringing it to the MLS, which you will do. All right. Now, with that said, that's the overarching strategy. But there's so many creative ways to introduce this in the discussions that you're having with your sellers, depending on what their situation is. Very common conversation we're likely all having with our sellers currently is COVID-19. All right. So for good reason, many sellers are actually waiting to put their house on the market because, you know, they're living in the property. The infection rates are really high right now. They don't want people coming through their home while they're still living there. So a very common occurrence that we're hearing from agents is that the sellers are waiting until they're out of the property or until they can go on vacation somewhere before listing their property for sale. Very valid thing to do. So you can now, if you find yourself in that position, you can now tell your prospective sellers, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, when you list your property with me, oh, sorry. Let me rephrase how I go about that. So, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I completely understand that right this moment is not the perfect time for you to list your property because of the pandemic and because of maybe you don't want people coming through your home. But this is actually the perfect time to sign an exclusive with me so that we can at least begin priming the market for your property. We can begin pre-marketing the home so that when you are ready to formally list it in a month or 2 months from now, once the infection rate goes down, hopefully, we've already begun that process. We've started collecting feedback. We've started building momentum for the sale of your property. And simply put, this is a strategy that your sellers will be able to understand. You're going to capture their listing now as exclusive so that you can begin your process of marketing. And when they're ready to have people come through their home, you will put it on the MLS. A lot of agents have had a lot of success in those types of discussions with the Brokerbay network. So please, you get the idea. Structure the benefits of the network to your seller based on their situation. Maybe it's going to be for a coming soon pre-marketing. Maybe it's because of the pandemic. Maybe it's an assignment sale and it's a pre-construction property. This is the best place and the largest assignment sale network in Ontario now. So pitch the network based on how you pitch, obviously, but try to structure it based on the needs of each one of your sellers when you're meeting with them. Aside from sellers, very simply put, when you're meeting with buyers and discussing this with buyers, it's like an absolute no-brainer. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, when you work with me, a reputable and professional agent, because of the networks that my brokerage is a part of, I actually have the ability to introduce you to hundreds of off-market properties, verified exclusives, assignments, and coming soon listings that you will not be able to find yourself on consumer websites like House Sigma or Realtor.ca. So these types of listings are only made available to professional agents because they are sensitive in nature. You get the idea. Your clients, your prospective buyers will love the idea of having access to hidden marketplace properties. So let them know one of the many reasons why you should sign this buyer agency agreement with me is because of X, Y, and Z, and include the Brokerbay exclusive listing network. Awesome. I don't want to spend too much time on the network, but long story short, it's a pretty cool network. You could zoom into neighborhoods. You could select multiple neighborhoods that you want to set up auto prospecting for. So I can set up neighborhoods here. I can save my searches as my fave 2 areas. And yeah, you could save searches and the network will notify you whenever an off-market property becomes available in one of these neighborhoods that is of interest to you. Before we move on, I just want to leave you with a couple of rules that we have surrounding our marketplace and our network. So there are many rules, but I'm going to leave you with the 2 most important rules. Rule number 1, when you see a property on the network, so let's say we saw 10 Francesca Court, you are never to take other people's listings and start publicly advertising them. So you're not supposed to find listings here and start marketing them on your Facebook groups or on your website, trying to generate new buyer leads. That's not the purpose of these listings. You are only ever to share a Brokerbay exclusive listing with an individual. So you can only send these directly to individuals that you believe would have a bona fide interest in one of these listings. So the way we send a listing is we click on it and we press the send button here and we forward it to our client@gmail.com. Why does this rule exist? Very simple. The reason a lot of the listings are here on our network and not on the MLS is because in a lot of cases, they're sensitive in nature. So very simple example, if you were to take an assignment sale from Brokerbay and start marketing it to 1,000 different people and the builder were to find out, you've now created real liability for that seller and that agent. So we have to treat all the listings that are other people's listings as sensitive listings, unless we ask them for permission to maybe send it to a larger audience of people. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is if you decide to share your own off-market property on the network, which you do not need to share. okay? But should you decide to share that listing on the network, you must offer what you believe to be a competitive cooperating commission on that listing. So long story short, these listings are only shared with agents. There's no public element. You're not going to generate a new buyer lead from posting on the network. You're only going to be sharing this with other agents because only agents have access to this. So it would really make no sense to not cooperate competitively, considering that you're only sharing this listing with other agents. So please use your best judgment, depending on the type of listing, depending on the market that you're in, depending on what's typical or what's acceptable. Please use your best judgment and offer a competitive cooperating commission on your listings. Great. All right, so I'm going to take a sip of water here. And if anybody has any questions about the network or notifications or anything like that, please ask them now, because we're going to move on to something else. Mark-Yan, yes, we do have some materials. We have a one-pager that you can include in your presentation. Yeah, reach out to me after, or have your brokerage reach out to support@Brokerbay, and we'll send it over to them. All right. Okay, so let's keep going. So now we're going to switch gears, and we are going to talk about how to actually manage our listings and what does it mean to manage a listing through Brokerbay. So let's pretend we just got this brand new listing, 123 Healthy Street. We just broker loaded it to the Treb or to Matrix, wherever. It instantly got pulled into Brokerbay. But before we start taking appointments on our brand new listing, we want to tell the system how appointments should be happening. So many of us are probably used to filling out a PDF appointment worksheet, giving it to your office, and your office programming your listing for you. So David Tong asks a question: how do you upload a listing to the system? You take your paperwork and you hand it into your office, David, and your administrators will add it to the system. Once they add it, you will be able to edit it and make changes. Next week, we're actually giving agents the ability to upload their own exclusive listings and hand in their paperwork through the system, and then your administrators will be able to approve it. And we'll share a video about that next week. But just know right now, you just gotta, for the next week, you just gotta send your paperwork to your office and ask your administrators to add it to Brokerbay. Okay, so we just got this listing. We want to program appointments. In the past, we probably used to tell our staff to program our appointments, which, depending on how your brokerage operates, you could still do that process of asking your staff to program your listings. But if you want to just quickly program your own listing with how appointments should be managed, know that on your listing, as the listing agent, you have access to this dashboard of tools on your own listings: appointments, offers, feedback, etc. Let's click appointments. And let's go to configure appointments right here. So this is the screen where you can, it looks very complicated, but it's very simple. This is where you can tell Brokerbay how you want your appointments managed. So I'm going to show you a better way to get to this screen, actually. So I think we have a question here. Jackie asks a great question: how can you enforce the 2 rules you mentioned about the exclusive network? Thanks. So first and foremost, we aggressively police people that are inappropriately sharing other people's off-market properties when they've explicitly agreed to not sharing them through our terms of service. We have algorithms that actually search all of the major search engines and social media platforms. And yeah, we've kicked off several agents. It's a one strike and you're out policy, Jackie. So if someone shares your listing and they tell us and we find out it's true, we will immediately kick them off the platform. And we've actually terminated an entire brokerage's platform from Brokerbay for continuously abusing that privilege. So yeah, we police that. We're not an authority in real estate, so we can't enforce people offering competitive cooperating commissions, but it's just general. It just wouldn't make sense to not competitively cooperate. So we ask that everyone competitively cooperate. Mark-Yan, we do not have any definition for what a competitive cooperating commission is. We leave that to the best judgment of the agents. There is no fixed commission rate that is applicable throughout Canada, as we all know. Thank you. Okay, so let's keep going, guys. So when you get a listing, let's say it's Healthy Street, you're going to see it in your dashboard. So on the left-hand side, you're going to see a dashboard here, and any listings that you have will show up here. Any appointments that you have will show up here that are on your buyer appointments or maybe on listings that you have. Any tasks or feedback that you should have left on people's properties, you'll see here. Or if you're on a team, you'll see all your teammates and all your team listings all right here. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go to this listing here. And when you click into your listings, and then you go to appointments and configure appointments, this is where you can tell Brokerbay how you want your appointments managed. All right, appointment settings. I want a minimum appointment notice of 24 hours. When I type this here, it's going to force everybody who is trying to book an appointment on your property to give you 24 hours notice, regardless if it's through Matrix, Treb, Brokerbay's mobile app, the answering service, your front desk. Everyone will follow the rules that you program on this screen, which is awesome. All right, maximum duration of an appointment. I only want 15-minute appointments. Allow double bookings? Definitely not. People should not be in the property at the same time as other people during COVID. Great. Who should approve appointments on your listing? Maybe the seller should because they're living in the property. Maybe the property is vacant and you want to auto-confirm all of the appointments. You want to instantly confirm them to save time. Or maybe you as the listing agent want to confirm every appointment yourself because of whatever arrangement you have with your seller. Or maybe you're going to be present for all the showings. So pick and choose the setting that is relevant to your listing. Great. Under admin instructions, this is really important. So here is where you can leave instructions internally for your staff and your appointment answering service. So here you can write, please make sure to get Mary, the seller's permission for each appointment. P.S. She can't hear that well, so speak loud if you call her. This is the type of stuff you can write here. It's private, doesn't get shared with anybody for your staff and your answering service. Great. All right, now let's tell the co-op agent how they should be accessing your listing. So they should be accessing the property maybe by a lockbox. Maybe your brokerage uses Sentry Lock or Master Lock, electronic lock boxes. Know that we're fully integrated and that our system automatically generates electronic lockbox access for showing agents. But for now, considering most of you are using manual lockboxes still, let's click lockbox. We're going to tell the showing agent that the code is 2345. And let's say this is a brand new condo that we just listed. And we show up at the condo to put our lockbox up. And as soon as we get there, we're met with a very common situation that looks like this. A million lockboxes all on the same fence as your lockbox. Moving forward, when you find yourself in that position, take a photo of where your lockbox is located, upload it to your listing, and we now give you the ability to really efficiently indicate to the showing agent which lockbox is yours. So if you want to make it really obvious to the showing agent that, hey, this lockbox is yours right here, you could upload this photo, you can draw on it through Brokerbay, and every showing agent can actually receive a photo of that lockbox when their appointments are confirmed. Great. All right. Turn off lights, remove shoes, leave your card, knock first, call if later canceling, beware of the scary dog. My card is on the back. Call me if you have any issues. All of these instructions will go directly to the showing agent. Fantastic. All right. So here we said, who should approve appointments? The seller. So let's add the seller to your listing to ensure that they can actually see appointments that are getting booked. So under listing contacts, I'm going to add a contact. And my contact's name is Mary Johnson. Her email's Costa@Brokerbay. Her phone number is 909-2310. And we're going to send your seller emails and or text messages whenever something gets booked, confirmed, canceled, denied, etc. So you can choose to notify your sellers about a whole bunch of different things. But where this gets really efficient and exciting is if your seller is a little bit savvy with technology, like maybe they have an email and a phone, you can give them permission to confirm, deny, and even suggest different appointment times from the Brokerbay system themselves. So they can actually take control of that process for you and your brokerage so that they can speed this whole thing up. All right. So pick and choose which permissions you want these people to have. For example, if this is a malicious, really naughty tenant, and you know they're just going to sit there and deny every appointment, turn that permission off so they can't deny appointments efficiently. All right. So we added our seller, we gave them permissions, and the last thing we're going to do is we are going to, at the bottom of the screen here, program when we want people to be able to see the property. So we can tell Brokerbay that, you know what, I only want appointments after 9 a.m. Monday through Sunday. So no one will be able to book during these red times. I'm going to turn off Sunday completely so no one can book during Sundays. I don't want any appointments after 9:30 p.m. or 9 p.m. You know what? My seller on Saturday wants to sleep in till 10 a.m. So I'm gonna restrict times until 10 a.m. So you get the idea. People will only be able to book appointments now during these available time slots. To make matters even more efficient, let's say your seller has advised you that they're going to be at the office Monday to Friday from 1 till, or like from 11 till 2 p.m. You can now tell Brokerbay to auto confirm using this little selector here, anytime between 11 and 2:30. So the system will now know that any appointment booked during this green time, it's going to instantly confirm it. Any appointment booked during the available time, the system will have to get permission from your seller, and no one will be able to book during these red times. So you can get really granular now with how you want this to happen, and Brokerbay will streamline that. So you all hopefully understand the types of settings this has now. Can someone please type in the chat, just type yes or no, if your brokerage gets the sellers, gets the showing agents to sign a COVID-19 acknowledgement form with each appointment being booked. Are you guys getting COVID-19 forms signed with each property? Just type yes or no. Okay, so it's different for every brokerage. Some do, some don't. But you as the agent now can decide for yourself if you do or you don't. Your brokerage can decide for the whole brokerage. So it's up to you guys how to set this up. But know that we have the most seamless COVID-19 form process in the business. And on your listings in the appointment configuration, there's a section called COVID-19. And you could turn on new booking mandatory waiver. And this will get the showing agent to sign a COVID-19 waiver on every appointment. Let's show you how all of this works in unison now. All right. So let's pretend that a showing agent calls your office. They could book through the MLS. They could book their appointment on the mobile app. But let's say they call your office and so they call your office to book an appointment, or your answering service. Your office finds your listing. They press book appointment. They search for the showing agent, Costa. And let's book the appointment for February 25th at 10:30. And as soon as your office books this appointment, something terribly unexciting happened. That appointment enters a terrible place called the admin queue. And the admin queue is where all of the appointments for your brokerage need to get processed. And maybe it's after hours and it's your answering service now managing appointments for your brokerage and 100 other brokerages. And your poor old appointment is sitting down here at the bottom of the list, and it's going to take hours before it gets processed. And to make matters even worse, it's still waiting for a COVID-19 form, which sucks. So as soon as that was booked through Brokerbay, the showing agent, the listing agent, the seller, your office, everyone was notified by email or text message or through our mobile app. Let's have a look at the communication that the showing agent may have just received. The showing agent just received a communication that looks like this. Action required. This listing requires you to sign a COVID-19 acknowledgement form. So we automatically ask the showing agent to sign one. All they have to do is press sign. We don't have to muck around with PDFs or DocuSign. They're going to read your brokerage's customized PDF or COVID-19 form. And all they got to do with their finger, they can just sign the form and they're done. We've now collected that COVID-19 form and it's been saved in the system attached to that appointment. So you have it there for your history. Your seller may have also received a communication. A new appointment has been booked on your property. If your seller is savvy enough to get these communications, see the buttons, and just press the green one, You're going to see the appointment sitting in the queue here. It disappears from the queue. The confirmation is delivered directly to the showing agent. With a copy of where your lockbox is located, that photo with the lockbox instructions, and the appointment's done. And we didn't need to wait for an administrator or the answering service to call anybody, and we've considerably sped this appointment up. So long story short, now that you're on Brokerbay, everyone can involve themselves in the appointment process, and it's going to tremendously increase the speed at which appointments are getting confirmed, and it's going to really give everyone a much better quality experience when they're engaging in this process. To that point, your sellers moving forward will now have access to their own dashboard where they can see all of the appointments that have been booked on their property. They can confirm, deny, or suggest different times for appointments. They can even sync all of the appointments on their listing with their personal calendar of choice. So if they like managing their schedule through a calendar, they can actually sync all of their appointments on their listing automatically with their personal calendar of choice, which is awesome. So yeah, just know that they have a simplified modern dashboard where they can manage appointments, add them to their calendar. They can manage their notification preferences, and they can even familiarize themselves with who their agent is, which is awesome. Great. So if anyone has any questions about this process, about your sellers being able to approve or deny appointments, you as the listing agent being able to approve or deny, the showing agent being able to sign COVID-19 forms or cancel their own appointments themselves, this is all now available on your listings moving forward. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to take a sip of water here. If anybody has any questions about configuring appointments or the appointment process, please ask them now, because we're going to switch gears again and talk about offer registrations. So I think we have a question here. Great question. The question is, does the seller is the seller required to log into Brokerbay? No, they are not. So we know that if we had to require a seller to log in with a password, that it would really create a lot of issues for a lot of sellers who aren't maybe that good with technology. So as long as the seller is accessing their communication directly, the link of their communication directly through the text message or through the email that we've sent it to, it'll automatically authenticate them and log them into their portal. They do not need to know a password. Awesome. Okay, so I think we have a couple more questions here. So Ambrose asks, if there are two sellers that need to confirm appointment before I go, is it possible? Yes. So there's a lot of advanced logic that you can program in our system, Ambrose, and I'll quickly show you the one that you asked. So let's say you have, and I'm just going to give this person permissions to confirm. So let's say you have two tenants or two sellers living in the property, and you want both of them each time to confirm before an appointment is confirmed. It's really easy to do that. So under the listing contacts, you can click this button right here called Set Up Multiple Confirmations. And you can tell the system that both Mary and John need to confirm every appointment before that appointment is confirmed. So this is great for multiple tenant situations, or when you have when you want two people to both have to approve, or 3 or 4 or 5 people before an appointment's confirmed. And our system will automatically keep track as who hasn't approved it, so that your front desk or your answering service can follow up if it's taking a long time. Awesome. Okay, so let's now switch gears and talk about how Brokerbay streamlines the offer registration process. So under your listing, when you're on your listing, you're also going to see beside the appointment section, a section called offers. And I'm going to go to offer settings. And I'm going to tell Brokerbay, okay, what are the instructions for offer registrations? Offers are accepted on an offer date. And the offer date is the 18th of February at 5 p.m. We are accepting preemptive offers. Maybe we're not, up to you. The requested minimum irrevocable is going to be 2 hours. Bring certified draft. We want offers to be submitted in person or by email. So pick and choose the instructions. Simply put, these instructions make it really obvious to the showing agents when they're engaging with your listing as to how you're accepting offers on your property. Great. But more importantly than making it obvious to the showing agent as to how you're accepting offers, at the bottom of the settings page is a really important section called offer registration notifications. This is where you can program Brokerbay as to how you want people to be notified when an offer gets registered on your listing. So whenever you get a new listing, by default, offers are accepted anytime, and showing agents will be automatically notified whenever an offer is registered. So what that means is, let's say one offer gets registered, everyone gets notified. Two offers, everyone gets notified. 3, 4, 5. Everyone will instantly and always be notified whenever a new offer is registered. If you do not want that to happen, okay, you can come into the offer settings page and tell the system to not automatically notify everybody, but to only notify the listing agents by clicking this right here. And then the listing agent can decide when they're ready to notify the showing agents. So with this process, only you will be notified whenever offers are registered, and then it's up to you to press a button to decide when you're ready to notify everyone else. Easy. All right, so not only can you choose how you want people notified, you can also customize your template as to what you want people to receive. And the cool thing about Brokerbase templates is we have what are called smart tags. So these blue tags right here are ways that you can make your messages look really customized and actionable. So you can make this message read, "Hi, co-op agent first name." I'm going to drag that up here. So now when it goes out to the showing agents, each showing agent will see their name. "Hi, Costa. Hi, Paul. Hi, George. I wanted to let you know, blah, blah, blah. Please register your offer by 5 p.m. You can click this link to register your offer. So you can actually now include links so that they can register their own offer. Or if you want to book another appointment, click this link. So I'm going to grab the book appointment button link. Boom. And now we can add actionable links in these messages so that when these agents get these notifications, they can actually take actions like registering offers and booking appointments. Great. All right. There are many ways. So we've now set up all the settings and we've customized our template. And now it's important for you to understand how offers get registered. There's several ways. The showing agent can register the offer themselves. They can call your office to register. They can call you to register. Okay. So and I think the most important part to understand here is if a showing agent calls you directly to register an offer, what should you do? It's simple. Come to Brokerbay, either through your mobile app or through the website. Come to your listing, click offers. So someone just called you, "Hey, I want to register an offer," directly through you. Actually register through the system. So click register offer, search for the agent that just called you to register. If they provided you their Form 801, attach their Form 801 just so it's saved in the system. It doesn't get shared with anybody. And then as soon as you register that offer, it's going to ask you, who do you want to notify? And you can now tell the system, I want to notify all of the showing agents except for Pavel, Letitia, and Costa. And I want to customize the template to say something else. I want to say 4:30 for the registration time. So now for this one instance of this template, it's going to show this adjusted template. And then as soon as you register that offer, it's saved in the system. Everyone was just notified with your customized template as to how you're accepting offers and that there's a new registered offer. All of the offers registered in the system are saved in order of who registered first, if the Form 801 was submitted, and most importantly, we save a copy of the message that was delivered to all of the showing agents, and we actually save a delivery log of everyone that was notified when that offer was registered. So it's a fully automatic RICO compliant audit trail of everything that happened on every offer on your listing. Easy peasy. Okay, so you get the idea. When people call you to register, put it in the system. When people call your office will put it in the system. And showing agents also have the ability to register themselves through their mobile device. Awesome. Does anyone have any questions about the offer registration process and how it works? Because we're now, and we'll talk about it a bit more, but we're now going to switch gears and we're going to talk about a couple other things. So let's say, so you get the idea now, everyone, all the showing agents are automatically notified when offers are registered. But let's say you ever want to just randomly message all the showing agents with a customized message, a one-off message. It's really easy to do that. On your listing, there's a section called Message Co-ops. And when you click it, you could see all of the co-ops that viewed your property. You can type a message, hi, co-op agent first name. I wanted to truly thank you for showing my listing. We actually just received a bully offer. If you are thinking about bringing your own offer, please click this link and register. And give them a link. So right in here now, I'm going to give them the ability to register an offer. Boom. So you can make these one-off messages really actionable and customizable now. And I'm going to select the subject as bully offer received. Awesome. So you get the idea. You can do one-off messages to agents about maybe open houses or whatever the case is, or you can automate them with offer registration settings. Does LA have total control over notifying showing agents of an offer? So Theodore, to clarify, yes, you do. But when you get a listing, if you want to be in control of each notification that goes out, in the offer settings, make sure to select this second setting right here, notify listing agent only. Listing agent will decide when to notify others. So that puts you in control of the process. If this is selected, auto notify all showing agents, everyone's going to be instantly notified and you have no control, which is typical. But for some people that are trying to be strategic as to how they notify people, sometimes they don't want that. So make sure this is selected if you want to be responsible for every message being approved. Elvin Wong asks, is there a way to set restrictions on how little time the seller can cancel an appointment? No, there is not. That is a very granular piece of logic, and we do not currently offer that. A seller can cancel an appointment at any time. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. We're only going to be able to go through like 40% of the platform today. I'm trying to take you through the important things. Brokerbay has become a really large platform, and I just want to take you through some of the high-level items to show you all of the things that I think will be of immediate value for you to start learning. The next thing I'm going to show you, which is super, I think, important and helpful. I think we have another question here. MT asks, how long does it take for the change to take effect from auto notify to listing agent only? It's instant. The second you press save, that's going to reflect as the new setting. Vincent asks, what is the meaning and usage of 801 submitted only must be verified before? Okay, very good question. So this is a bit of an advanced piece of logic, but let's go through it. So Vincent asks, what is this right here? In the offer settings, 801 submitted online must be verified before notifications are sent. If a showing agent registers their own offer without calling you or without calling your office, we force them to submit their Form 801. So in that instance, when an agent is like pressing buttons to register their own offer, we force them to submit a Form 801 so that they don't accidentally press a button and like scare everybody on your listing that an offer is registered when it's really not and they just made a mistake. So as an extra layer of safety on your listings, we ask that if an agent's registering their own offer, they submit an 801. Now, because this switch is turned on by default, when a showing agent submits their own Form 801, you're going to get a notification and you'll see the Form 801 and you're going to have to approve it, or your office will have to approve it before we actually consider their offer actually registered, so that they're not just like scaring people on your listing arbitrarily. Does that make sense, Vincent? If you register an offer on behalf of that agent, or if your office registers it on behalf of that agent, we do not need to verify the Form 801. We don't even need a Form 801. It's up to you at that point. But if the agent submits their own offer without notifying you first, then you get to approve the 801 before you accept their registration. Awesome. All right. So on that note, I'm now going to take you to a really special feature that we have, which is one of my favorite things of the platform. And it's the new Brokerbay mobile app. So this is a really awesome mobile experience available in the App Store and the Google Play Store. So go to the App Store, search for Brokerbay on your phone, and download the mobile app, okay? This is gonna be the one-stop shop for you to manage almost everything that I've just shown you from your mobile app without even needing to go to a computer, all right? One thing I really ask of you from the bottom of my heart is if you like the app, please make an effort to leave us a 5-star review. If you don't like the app or if you find a problem with it, please tell our team first and let us correct it, because we're really quick to make corrections and fix things that you might have issue with. And yeah, so give us the opportunity to make things right before leaving a bad review, because that's it's really hard on small businesses when that happens. So any help you can provide us in that way would be amazing. Awesome. All right, so I've done my little sales pitch there. I'm now going to show you the mobile app. So let's open the mobile app up here. It's going to take 1 second to pop up on my screen. Okay. So what is the Brokerbay mobile app? The Brokerbay mobile app, all right, is so like I said, you're going to go to the App Store and you're going to type Brokerbay to find it. Brokerbay, there it is. You're going to download it. The icon looks like this over here. You're going to click on it. And okay, so I'm in my Brokerbay mobile app, and this is the place now where I can see all of the important stuff and take actions on all the stuff that's important. So all my listings, and I don't have any listings right now, they would show up right here. If I'm on a team, I could see my team's listings. If I want to see my brokerage's listings, I can click on my brokerage and check my brokerage out. So this is a place where I can access my listings, see my brokerage's listings. So let's go to a historical listing that I used to have. So I'm going to go to, let's go to this listing here. All right. So this is my listing, and on Brokerbay, I can actually manage all of the outstanding appointments on my listing. I can accept or deny them. I can manage and view and delete any offers that have happened on my property. I can message the co-op agents from my phone if I want to send a message to all of them. More excitingly though, on my listing, in the top right corner right here, I can actually change settings on the fly. So if I want to change my appointment configuration settings or manage the contacts on my listing, I can do that from my phone. If I want to really quickly change an offer registration setting, I can do that from my phone. I can even manage my offer registration settings here if I want to be notified, or if I want it to automatically go out. Great. Cool. So you get the idea. You can manage all of the aspects of your listings from the palm of your hand now: settings, appointments, offers. On your dashboard, which is the first main screen, you could see all of your upcoming buyer showings, okay? So you could see the state of any buyer showing that you've booked. If you are trying to get to the property, you just click on one of your showings, click on the map, and we allow you now to get directions by Google Maps or Apple Maps. So it's a really nice way to get to a listing when you're kind of jumping between properties. You can reschedule your appointments now from Brokerbay. You can cancel your appointments and tell the reason why you're canceling. Easy peasy. We'll share you a photo of where the lockbox is located if the listing agent had provided it. You can even sign COVID-19 forms through the mobile app. This one's already been signed, but you could see here that this is a signed COVID-19 form, and you have a copy of the ones you've signed. And you can now start easy conversations with the listing agent. So, hey, I'm going to be 5 minutes late, PS. And you now just paged the listing agent that you're going to be 5 minutes late for your appointment. So you get the idea. You can manage everything to do with your buyer appointments, your listing appointments, etc. The main menu at the bottom here has some really cool tools. So this calendar will show you a calendar view of all of your buyer showings that were in the past and that are coming up in the future. So you have a list of all your buyer showings in a calendar view. You could see all of your listing appointments in a calendar view as well. So these are all the people that have booked appointments on your listing that you can accept or deny these appointments from your calendar view. So yeah, people find that very helpful. One of my favorite things about the Brokerbay mobile app is this search button right here, which now gives you the ability to book appointments on the run from your mobile device. So I'm going to actually use map search for this, and I'm going to find I saw a property around the corner here, and I'm going to find this listing here very quickly. I wanted to book an appointment on this one. So I'm going to, using my Brokerbay mobile app, I don't even have to go to the MLS. I can now book an appointment on another brokerage's listing, so long that it's with Brokerbay. And keep in mind, we don't have every brokerage on Brokerbay, but we have about like 70 or 60% of the listings now on here. And over time, this is going to hopefully grow to 90, 100%. So know that you can now book appointments and register offers on the Brokerbay mobile app. So if you want to register an offer here, you can actually register your own offer from your mobile app. So pretty cool. All right, I think we have a couple. Do we have a question here? No, we don't. So long story short, guys, download the mobile app, learn how to log into Brokerbay, learn how to manage your settings on your listing. And it's a pretty modern and intuitive platform. The one thing that I really ask of everyone is make an effort to become familiar with Brokerbay because the system is going to be growing over time. So the more that you can learn now, the easier it's going to be to participate in a lot of the new advanced functionalities that we're launching in the near future. This is the end of the presentation. These are the main items, but I'm going to stick around for a couple of minutes now if anybody has any questions that they want to ask. Kenneth asks, is there a dark mode? I don't believe there is a dark mode. I'll make a note. It's not on the top of our list to do, but I'll definitely see what we can get done or how easy it would be to make a dark mode. Stop recording. So yeah, guys, thanks so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed and found value in what you learned today and what Brokerbay can do. And again, I'm going to stick around if anybody has any questions to understand about the network, about the Brokerbay system. Another thing that you might find interesting, guys, is on your listings, there's also the ability to program feedback. So on your listings, there's a feedback section, and you could see feedback that was submitted on your listing, but you can also customize the questionnaire. So if you want to delete questions or edit questions or make new questions for your questionnaire, you can do that yourself. And you can also customize the template that goes out asking people for feedback in the first place, and you can make it look really personalized and customized. So so that people typically find that pretty helpful. All right, everyone, thanks for your time. I'm logging out. Have a great day. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And I think we have a question here. Yeah, Belle, we're going to send a link with the recording of this entire presentation that you can watch. All right, everyone, have a fantastic day, and we'll be in touch.